We are back to have another Football Manager 2024 experiment, and this time round, I'm going to pose the question: what would happen to Manchester City if they were demoted down into the Vanarama National League? Now, for this experiment, of course, been pointing to the South League. Don't ask me why they've been pointing to the South, because they're definitely from the North. And it's an interesting few years of what happens for Man City, how it all works out for them. So let's dive in and have a quick look at how things got on in season number 1. So we should probably start things off by looking about the top goal scorers. Of course, Erling Haaland being at the club, he's going to absolutely destroy it, surely, in the Vanarama National League. You think, though, he's in the South League at this point, and as you can see on screen right now, most goals scored, Haaland only got 31 goals. So I think that's a bit rubbish for Haaland, honestly, in getting 31 goals in the Vanarama National South. But, I mean, you can see the average ratings dominated by Man City players, assists dominated by Man City players. It went very well for Man City. As you can imagine, it went very, very well. You can see on screen now, they finished champions, promoted in the first season, up now into the Vanarama National League, out of the South League, playing 46, winning 46, scoring 156 goals. Absolutely insane. But that wasn't the only thing they won this season, of course, because this is Man City, and they were in other competitions. Of course they were as well. They were in other competitions. They went all the way. And then firstly, they won the FA Trophy. You kind of expect them to win the FA Trophy, wouldn't you, realistically? They beat Bromley 3-0 in that final. Doku, Kovacic and Silva getting the goals in that one. And then it got really interesting. They won the Champions League whilst they're in the Vanarama National South. They beat Inter Milan 3-0 in the final. Haaland, Silva and Grealish getting the goals in that one, which sees Vanarama National Champions and Champions League champions all in the same division as Man City. They win everything, essentially. Man City have won everything yet again. They didn't win the FA Cup, actually. They didn't win the FA Cup. You see, they got knocked out by Newcastle in the FA Cup in the quarter-final stages. In terms of that, that was literally their season. They just kept winning games all the time. Absolutely battered everyone. They barely lost all season. They beat like the likes of Avli here, 10-0. 10-0. Community Shield, by the way. They lost to Arsenal as well. So they didn't win the Community Shield this season. But yeah, interesting first season for Man City. But this is when it gets interesting now because, of course, you have a lot of players on the Man City books aren't going to be happy. They're going to want to be at a top club, you'd think, at this point. They want to be in the Premier League, you'd imagine. But they have just won the Champions League, so maybe they can keep these players for a little bit longer. Let's see what happens now going into season number 2. So we'll touch up firstly with Man City now going into season number 2. Players, transfers, what's happened? How many people left the club at this point? Oscar Bob Doyle, although he's on loan, but no one actually being sold for any big money. So all the big names are still at Man City at this point. None of the big names have left the club yet. I mean, no reason for them to really leave, honestly, because again, they've won the league yet again. We can go to the league table now, but they didn't actually win every game this time round. They finished top, of course, 46 games, winning 44, drawing 2. How many scores against them? Halifax Town and Bromley getting a 2-2 and a 1-1 draw. But you did see that Man City scored 134 goals and conceding 7 goals all season. Only the 7 goals all season for Man City. So a good season, you would say, for Man City yet again. But in terms of other competitions, how did they get on? So with the other competition for Man City here in season number 2, the World Club Cup happened and they lost to Porto in extra time in that one. So they didn't manage to win the World Club Cup this season. It actually went all the way down. And as these teams left, Porto, Benfica, Leipzig, Bayern Munich, there's still quite a few teams left in as we get to this point of the season. Former winners, Man City, of course, but this year they did not manage to win it. But what happened to Man City? What else have they managed to win this season? They won the FA Trophy again. They won it again. They beat Chesterfield this time around. Grealish and Alvarez getting the goals to see Man City get back-to-back champions in the FA Trophy. Promoted again now up to the Sky Bet League 2, of course. So we can dive in now and see what happens now going into the new season in the Sky Bet League 2. Season number 3 for Manchester City. So we are back again now, season number 3 now, the end of season number 3 for Manchester City, and we can touch on the league first, but I mean, you can probably gather what would have happened straight away. They went promoted, they won the league yet again. It's Man City. They went undefeated, this time drawing 4 games though, only winning 42, drawing 4 all season, scoring 117 goals. It seems like they're doing pretty darn good in the lower leagues. Drawing against Forest Green though, Gateshead, Stevenage and Woking in that, all 1-1 draws, but Man City, automatic promotion yet again. But the big thing's going to be now, transfer-wise, who's left the club? Has anyone actually left the club any bigger money by this point? Looking now, John Stones went to spot Tottenham Hotspur for 16 million. Portsmouth took Asbrand. Oscar Bob left on a permanent deal for Rennes. Kyle Walker's on to Frankfurt for 700k, but an odd one there as well. But I mean, a lot of the big players still there. Ortega left on a free transfer into that last season as well. But again, no real big names have left the club just yet for Man City. But in terms of actual what's been happening, of course, they won the league. They won the EFL Trophy as well. Carabao Cup, they beat Chelsea in that one, 2-1 in the final. So Another trophy for them. You can see there, the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, they lost to Bournemouth on penalties in that one. And then again, the EFL trophy, that one again. Yeah, they won it again. They beat Wimbledon this time. So back-to-back winners, winning the EFL trophy 3 times in a row, thanks to goals from Delap and Stevanovic. Bit of a rotated team, and they still managed to beat people with that team. Another trophy for Man City and a promotion yet again. This time we'll see them now go up into the Sky Bet League One. How far will this Man City team go? Can they get promoted every season? Will they lose any of the big guns? Let's find out. We dive into season number 4. So another season in the bag now for Man City, the Sky Bet League One. As you can imagine, of course, they won the league yet again. They just keep winning the league. I was hoping by this point now you might have seen a few of the big players leave by now, but they did actually lose one game finally in the Sky Bet League One. They won 39, drawing 6, and they lost one game all season, losing at home to Carlisle 2-1. What a W for Carlisle, being the first team to beat Man City in the league in 3 years now, 4 years now. Scored 97 goals, conceded 18 goals, still got 123 points. They won the league very, very easily. But of course, though, where they didn't win the Champions League last season, they didn't have Champions League football this time round. But of course, from winning that EFL Carabao Cup, they weren't in the Conference League, and they went pretty far in the Conference League, but failed to win it. Going out as well, you can see a bit further down the line here, a lot of things happened on that journey. But you can see on the screen now, they played PAOK, they went away to PAOK, lost 2-0, a 1-1 draw in that one, knocked out the Conference League. They didn't win the Conference League this season. The FA Cup, knocked out by Everton in the FA Cup. They didn't win the FA Cup. What about the EFL, the Carabao Cup? Could they win that again? They could not. They lost to West Ham. So Man City falling apart a little bit in the other competitions this season. Didn't win any domestic cups. It's the first time so far within this save. But of course, they do get promoted yet again by winning the EFL League One. So they're up again, up into the Championship this time round, going into the final season. We're only doing 5 seasons for this. Can Man City get back to back promotions this time, trying to get out of the Sky Bet Championship and get themselves back into the Premier League? So as we come back now for another season, our final season of this little Man City experiment, see how they get on from the Vanarama National South all the way up, try and get back to the Premier League. The final season because they've actually won the Championship. We'll get into that first. Yeah, there's no surprise really there. Man City, they won it quite convincingly in the end. 113 points, playing 46 games, winning 37, drawing 2, losing 7 all season. They did lose 7 games all season. You can see on screen now they lost to Luton, West Brom, Huddersfield, Coventry, Watford, Swansea and Rotherham in the league. But it was still nowhere near. They were a long way clear as they get promoted now back into the Premier League. And of course, Erling Haaland still there. He bagged 28 goals in the Championship. Foden bagged 22 goals. Average ratings dominated by them. Assist ratings, average. It's all absolutely dominated by Manchester City in this one again. As Man City now have made it a trophy every season, getting promoted every time, coming top, and now are back in the Premier League going into the new season. But the main thing we kind of hoped for was that a lot of players would leave the club as well for quite big money. You think a lot of big names want to leave for Champions League football and so on. I mean, you see again, this season, no one really massive left here. I mean, transfers out. Akanji went a free transfer to Fulham. Bar that, though, again, like, none of the big names really left throughout this simulation. We kind of thought a few might leave. Bernardo Silva went to Atletico Madrid on a free transfer there. I mean, some of the youngsters all left the club who weren't really playing though within this simulation, but the likes of Haaland is still there, and Grealish, Foden, so many more did not leave. I mean, you think by now they'd be pretty unhappy and want to leave, but I mean, Haaland, you can see now, lack of sufficient depth for the goalkeeping department, of course. Has Ederson gone by this point? Ederson's not in the team, so Ederson has left by this point. Maybe he's retired by this point at the save, who knows? But Ederson, he went to Real Madrid, so I mean, keeper-wise, they're lacking going to the Premier League. The likes of Drew Fenley starting to centre-back from it seems with Ruben Diaz, a new gen from him. He looks pretty decent, not half bad, but I mean, for the Prem, probably not good enough. But the team is very much different right now. Of course, Haaland wants to leave. Doku, you think will go by now, Julian Alvarez, but they're still around the team, still getting first team minutes. The team does look a little bit different, though, by this point now. Going into the 28-29 season, and Man City go back to the Premier League. So, of course, other trophies for this season for Man City. They failed with the EFL Cup, the Carabao Cup, being knocked out by Wolverhampton Wanderers this time round. And then, of course, the FA Cup. They had a chance in the FA Cup for being knocked out by Liverpool this time round. And a 3-1 defeat at the Etihad. And again, it's the end of the season where it went really, really wrong. You see here, Huddersfield, West Brom and Luton all getting late victories here to see Man City still win the league. Maybe at that point in the fall, well, we've won the league. Let's just rotate and let's mix things up. But of course, now we're going to see Man City now back into the Premier League. So there you go. We have 5 seasons. We've put Man City down in the Vanarama National South. They got promoted to the National League, up into the League 2, up into League 1, up into the Sky Bet Championship, back-to-back, win the title every season for those 4 seasons, and the final season in the Sky Bet Championship, winning the league title, which now sees them back in the Premier League after just 5 years of being down, getting promoted every season while winning the league title every time. Some interesting ones in there as well, of course, but thank you for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, of course, make sure you're liking the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you again soon for some more FM24 experiments.